I just sat down and ate. And I was talking to this older lady that work up here at this restaurant. And whenever she see me, she come over and she sit down and she talk to me. And she was telling me that she used to work in a nursing home. Now mind you this lady got to be every bit of like 86, say 87. She in her late 80s. But she said she worked in a couple of nursing homes in the city of Atlanta. She said one on downtown, I think on Auburn Avenue, and she said one in Peachtree City, and one in Atlanta. I think, and then she said I think near High Tower Station, if I ain't mistaken. I'm not saying it right. But she said it is amazing how people get old and they abandon their families. So my reply to her is, you know, like, some people, you gotta be careful how you treat people. And she looked at me and she said, you got that right. She said, now I know some of these people might not have been the best of people in the world, but they here now, they getting Social Security. She said this at each one of these places she went to. And she said some of the nurses that work in these places and walk these floors treat these people like S-H-I-T. And I'm like, it's crazy, because the way you treat people, you gotta understand, your ass gonna get old. And the same way you treating people, don't think that shit ain't gonna come back on you. You know what I mean? So I ain't the one to ridicule nobody, but I'm the one to tell you this right here. You better be careful the way you treat people. I'm talking about be careful. If you don't like somebody, or you so-called can't stand somebody or can't stand a person, just stay away from them before you start dishing out them bad deeds, man. Cause that shit gonna come back on you. And when it come back on you, it come back on you when you least expect it. That's the thing about karma. You know what I'm saying? You treat people fucked up, that fucked up shit come back on you when you least expect it. And I try and tell and teach that to anybody I talk to and I know. You know what I mean? I know some mamas and daughters not getting along, some daddies and, you know what I'm saying, sons not getting along. But my thing is to like this here. My father is deceased. You know what I'm saying? My mother's deceased and I miss the shit out of them. So you better take care of what you got here and get over them fucking grudges. Because grudges don't get you nowhere. Trust that shit. Why keep worried about the problem? Let's work on the solution, man. And learn to treat each other the way you want to be treated. The way you want to be treated. You want somebody treating you fucked up, think about that the next time you treat somebody else fucked up. If you can't get along with a person, instead of dishing out that negative energy, just leave them alone. Back away. Whether that's relationship, friendship, friend or foe, leave them alone, because your karma can be totally different from the shit you dishing out. You might dish out some simple, shit. And it's fucked up how you dishing it out. But somebody else, when they come back around on you,
right here on the Odyssey.
Lord have mercy, man. I done seen some people suffering, and they wondering why. You gotta think back of some of that shit you doing. You gotta think about how you treat people, man. If you treat yourself good, I'm gonna treat people the way I treat myself, and I treat myself good. So if I find myself where I can't treat you the way I treat myself, I'm just gonna cut you off and stay out your life. I'm gonna stay out your pathway, stay out your life, stay out your life, and stay out your light. You know what I'm talking about? You ain't gonna see me, because I refuse to let that negative energy get in me and project it on somebody else. Even when I'm angry, man, I count to 10, I walk off. You know what I'm talking about? Because anybody could get it, but before I give it to somebody, I'd rather sit down and calm down and say, wait a minute. Remember, you put that fucking energy out. In your happiest days or your weakest days, somebody gonna do that same thing to you. Take note of that. Go on.